This is a TLC clinic, May 16th in Blunston, Florida, and the riders to go here are Kay and Smarty. I'm going to let it go through regular play and then do a slow motion review for you. In the morning, Kay, you ran a 18.831. That'll be the video on the right. In the afternoon, that'll be the video on the left. You cut off a lot of time and ran a 17.745. So that was a nice improvement, a second off from the morning to the afternoon. As you can see, riding to your spots, looking and riding to your spots and using more body and leg really helped shave a second off your time. So I was really pleased with your performance today. And I'm going to try to get these to come in at the same time. And then I'm going to put it in slow motion and zoom in for you and recommend some drills for you as well as some things to do in competition as well to help improve your run. So I'm just going to back this one back up and see if we can't wait for your other run to come in at the same time. Okay. There we go. About the same time. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to zoom in on them. Okay, so you can see right there, you're already at the horn, so that's something you're going to want to watch. If you can try to ride like the video on the left, you stayed two hands, and your video, your morning run, you were a second slower, so that's the video on the right. With you going to the horn earlier and lifting your inside rein, it caused you to lose your arc in your pocket, and then you blew out wide coming out of that turn. But this one, you stayed up and stayed two hands just a little bit longer, which helped you be able to guide your horse to your first barrel a little bit better. You kind of let him work more. You didn't get to be pulling on him. You pulled on him a little bit in your morning run and not in your afternoon. And then I like how you sat down a little bit more in your turn back here and looked around. That made a big difference. So if you look at the two here, you're looking, sitting more, and guiding, where that one, you're sitting way back, but you're pulling, and you're not really looking around. And remember, when you bump with your inside hand, bump with your outside leg on your exits, and it'll help your horse leave better. So there you lost a lot of time in the morning. That's probably a good half second there. Let me zoom back a little bit on your second barrel here. They're pretty similar turns on your second barrel, but again, you're going to want to get where you can ride a little bit straighter longer and not go to the horn quite as early. Or if you do go to the horn, don't lift and look in. Some people feel more secure where the tracks cross two strides from the barrel. They like to go to the horn, but see how in the afternoon you weren't in his face as much. His head still gets up because your hands, high hands make high heads. So in the morning on this side, it's really much worse. In the afternoon, your hands were much better. But even if you're going to go to the horn early, don't look in, because see, you're leaning and looking at the barrel, and that's something we're going to need to change, because that's going to cost you time. You're going to be forcing him to turn before it's time, and you want to remember to sit through your turns and guide your horse. But as you're coming into your turns, it's very important that you look and ride straighter longer. And a lot of people make the mistake of sitting back here and looking and lifting. It's okay to sit back here, but still just ride up into the sweet spot. Everybody has to get up in the hole, which is between spot 1 and spot 2, before you start to ask your horse to turn. So let's see if you do a little bit better on that third barrel. You had really nice hustle, and again, you shaved off a lot of time. But I like the fact that, you know, he's expecting you to be in his face, but you still are doing more give and take, and more give and take will keep him from stalling and also from losing his position, body position, also position around the barrel. So really good job for shaving off time, but you still have a lot of work to do to become consistent with shaving off time. So I would like you to continue to work on yourself doing circle work. Let me see if I can get that to work. Doing circle work, that you're going to use more inside leg every quarter turn. You're going to drive with your feet more and use more give and take hands. So think, whisper with your hands and talk with your body and legs. So ride more from the waist down and do your quarter turns as such. Okay, so you can do that. You can do it if you're using a whole arena. You can just do loops and work on driving your horse by doing some nice little loops. You don't even have to have barrels or poles. This can be done in a pasture as well. It's a diagram I have in my notebook. And then you'll want to go the other way and make sure you do everything left and right as well. But while you're doing this, you'll use your 3 cues. You'll use your go cue and then your rate cue. So right in this area, you'll get collected. So this area is go and it's extended. This area you sit and it's collected. Then you give your turn cue, and when you use your turn cue, you bump with your inside hand and legs every quarter turn, but then in between the quarter turns, you give him his head. Put your reins forward and drive with your feet. And then drive, go cue, brake cue, and then turn cue. But separate them. Go for about 20 feet, rate for 10 feet, and then turn. And that would be a really good drill for you and your horse to become more consistent. But I'm glad you came to the clinic. Really practice looking and riding to your spots. Practice bumping and releasing with your hands. Think pinky pressure and ride more with your feet and your body. And always remember, ride with heart. And again, thank you for coming. I really enjoyed working with you and Smarty.